welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton, and today we're going to talk about the city's Get to Know Us course. It's called Hampton 101. We're going to tell you about it and some reasons that you should attend. My guests are Darren Robinson, staff from the Neighborhood Department, and Peggy Todd, volunteer from the Neighborhood Commission. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Tell me what the purpose of Hampton 101 is.
So Hampton 101 is constructed to help citizens better understand the government that they are part of. We have the city manager or somebody from her office. We have community development director, economic development director, and the police chief who will speak to them about how their departments work and how the citizens can be a part of it.
Now, see, in some ways, before I worked for the city, when I was an outsider, it sounds very much like the city's going to tell you stuff. And as a citizen, I'm like, I don't want to hear your stuff. So you went to it, and it's a little different and stuff, but how does it benefit citizens? Like, I get how it benefits us.
Right. Well, as far as a citizen coming in, you get to see what's going on in your own city. You get to see, one of my favorite portions is Mr. Sledge talking about
He's the economic development.
Yes, economic development. Yeah, he tells us what are the new stores, the new restaurants, what's new coming into Hampton.
So shopping, that benefits me. Mm-hmm. I want to appreciate that.
Yeah. And then plus any of the programs, any of the festivals that are going on, they highlight those a little bit, but the most important part is showing us how we can interact with Hampton.
Thank you, because I think that's really important, is that, we're all out there in the community and we hear, oh, I don't like the way the city does this, or I don't like the way and people just grumble. Right. But if you go to the class, you learn who you grumble to actually make a difference. Mm-hmm. And that, I think, is a really key point, because everyone has ideas, things they want to see that they do like, things that they don't like, and you don't know what to do with that information except, snipe on Facebook or talk to people. So how do you get involved, or at least tell the right people what your concerns are?
Right, and there's also a great opportunity when people do have those gripes. They're speaking with the people in the room who understand why these things are going on. And once you have an explanation, it really it changes the dynamic, because people understand now. So it's not just, oh, this obstruction or this construction is going on here and it's really getting on my nerves. But when they explain why it's happening and how it's benefiting those people in the classroom, it really changes things.
How did it feel for you as a citizen? Why did you decide to do this? And granted, we should say up front, you're also a realtor, so right. Understanding the city helps you sell homes. I mean, it's a professional thing for you as well.
Yeah, it was twofold for me. I had done the original Hampton 101 years ago as coming in as a realtor. But living here, I got to have a second benefit to me. Not only was I able to sell homes and sell the city, but by my own self, telling my family and my friends, oh, hey, this is what's going on in the city of Hampton. Did you know this? Did you know that? It becomes when you come to the Hampton 101, or you're trying to get people to come to Hampton 101, it's what's in it for me? And when you do attend, you find out that there's a lot in it for just your average citizen in the city of Hampton.
So if I've lived here like my whole life, I haven't, and everybody knows that, but people will be like, I don't need to go, I know everything. Is that true?
No, that's not true. No, the city changes. Just as we change, the city changes. And if you don't go to a Hampton 101, you don't see what the changes are taking place. So you're griping about something possibly that doesn't even exist anymore, or has had a resolution that you might actually like.
And we've also had quite a few people who've taken a Hampton 101 more than one time. Mm-hmm. They'll take a few years off and they'll come back and they'll say, well, I've gotten information that I didn't know before, because we try to keep it relevant. We try to talk about things that are going on right now and how it affects Hampton citizens right now. So that's something that we are very mindful of, to make sure that the information is current for the different sessions.
Okay, so let's talk about what people would learn this year and the date and the content of this year's class. Let's go to workshop.
So this year, we have had a lot of different things going on in the community, excuse me, on a national level. And so one of the things that I believe that we're going to discuss this year is how the police are community policing and the
What that
protests.
means.
Yeah, what that means. And there's different protests that have been going on around the country and how Hampton police have stepped up to work with the people who are putting on these protests to make sure things are going smoothly in the community. We have new development. We have new companies coming in. Economic development and planning will be talking about that. There are different approaches that the community development has been using in the community. Something called ABCD, asset-based community development. So those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about that we haven't already talked about in past sessions. And the next session will be on October 29th, starting at 9 o'clock. And if somebody would like to sign up, you can go to hampton.gov/Hampton101.
And this is free, right?
This is free to the public.
Because we want you involved. We're trying to engage citizens. And, you know, you're a perfect example in that since you've taken this class, you have become, well, you were already involved in PTA with your kids.
Right.
So that shows the engagement right off the bat. But in the neighborhood commission, why should people, I mean, we get volunteer work out of it. I get why we want it as a
Right.
city, and it lowers your taxes the more people volunteer their time. But from a citizen perspective, why do you work with the city?
Well, it's
as a
my
volunteer?
city too. So if I have a concern or if I have an idea, I know now who to go to. Being on the commission makes it a little bit easier for me, but even if you're not on the commission, when you go to a Hampton 101, you learn who your commissioner is for your district, and you can go to them and say, hey, I have this idea, help me, come to fruition with it. Or, hey, I have this concern or this gripe, who do I talk to? And it could be very simple as call your 311 and they'll direct you in the right place. Or, hey, let's talk to the neighborhood office and we can go ahead and get, this festival going or something like that. So if you want to be involved, this is a perfect way to get involved. You're not jumping in with 2 feet, you're learning so you could see how to
Right.
jump in later.
So we don't, just like take you and grab you.
No.
You learn about the options also for being involved in volunteering in boards and commissions. And you can volunteer without taking this class. But if you want to learn more and understand and also maybe figure out what board or commission or what capacity you have to interact with the city, it's a good way to figure out all your options.
Yeah. And there's also something I would like to mention is that it's not just for one type of person. There are teenagers, there are seasoned adults, there are many professionals, there are teachers, there are city employees, there are neighborhood leaders, neighborhood watch leaders. It's a cross section of Hampton that comes to this class, and it's people who care about their community and they want to know how they can work to make it better.
And I think that's a key point too, is engage citizens and people who are contributing, even if it's just ideas, even if it's a one-off idea, makes the city better because you have all of that brain power, all of that energy, all of those ideas being considered instead of, people holding back or people
Right.
not being involved. It makes our community stronger when we all work together.
Yes.
Right.
So tell us again the date.
The date is October 29th. It's going to be on a Saturday morning.
That's great for working people. It's a full day, right?
It's from 9 to 1 for the sessions in the building. And for those who sign up first, they get a chance to go on a bus tour throughout the city of Hampton, looking at some of the new developments that are going on with someone from people from community development, from the housing and neighborhood side, and also from the planning side. So they can talk about what's going on in the community and what's coming to the community to share with the neighbors.
See, I think that's one of the coolest parts of it. And it's different every time they do it because there's different new things you can look at, industrial area. There's stuff going on in Hampton Roads Center office parks that people never see because, maybe you go to your doctor's office, but you don't go back in the back parts where the big FedEx building is or where some of those new office buildings are. And so you get a chance to see that or or the industrial park, which who goes to Copeland? You know, if you don't work there,
Right.
you don't go in, you don't know these things are right here in our
Right.
city, much less some of the neighborhood redevelopment and the things that HRHA, the Housing Authority has been doing, rehabbing or rebuilding where distressed properties used to be. I mean, it's amazing. The stuff that people don't see very often.
You're right.
So, okay, how do we register again?
You go to hampton.gov/Hampton101, and the information to register is right on the page.
Okay, that sounds great. Do you guys have anything to add before we close?
No, I think we cover most of it. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. I hope you will sign up. If not this time, it's offered again, usually about twice a year. But this time would be a great time. Get it done on a Saturday, one day as opposed to stretching it out. But the really good thing is you can learn more about your city because your city isn't the government and the paid staff. Your city is everyone who is in it. And the more we all work together and contribute, the better Hampton is going to be. Thanks for watching.